Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today. I am at the Cliffs Resort in Dana Point. Nice property. It's beautiful. Had a meeting up here today, and wanted to talk to you about a few things. Before I get into it, please take a second, hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, share this with all your friends and colleagues. It's a little breezy out here today. Hopefully the wind's not going to bother you guys, but first things first, we had an earthquake last night here in Southern California. It wasn't particularly big, it wasn't particularly small. It was a 4.0 earthquake in a city, the epicenter where the earthquake originated was in Carson, California, about 30 minutes from me. The funny thing about this is that I did not feel the earthquake. A lot of my friends, family members called immediately, they felt it. I had a brother that's inland about 70 miles, and they felt it tremendously. And when earthquakes happen, you know, there's different types of earthquakes. There's earthquakes that it feels like the ground is moving up and down, so you get that bouncing sensation. And then you have other times when the epicenter hits and it's like, you know, a pond of water where it just ripples through your house or the building they're in. Anyways, I didn't feel it last night. It was a 4.0, it was decent size. The higher the number, the bigger the earthquake. It's not something that if you have an earthquake that's a 4 and then you have a 6, it doesn't mean it's 20% bigger. Every point is much stronger. In fact, it can be twice as strong. So, you know, when you see movies, they talk about a 9.0, and the 4.0 was something that could have caused damage. It really didn't cause any damage because of where the epicenter was. But the point of this is that people need to be prepared. 4 years, forever, my daughter always hit me up to say, we need an earthquake kit. What if something happens? Because the problem with an earthquake, we don't know when they're gonna happen. It's not like you get notified from, you know, the weather report where they're saying that you're gonna have an earthquake coming. So we have that. And with that coming, you know, you need to be prepared. So you get an earthquake kit, you prepare, you get water, food. For example, the earthquake could have been bad last night to where, you know, the gas could have been shut off, the power could have been shut off, we could have lost internet. And people need to prepare for that. Just like people with, you know, Hurricane Ida, the other storms that are coming, you know, people need to prepare for this. And this is a perfect opportunity. If you live in hurricane, you know, country or tornado country, you need to be prepared for that. Okay. Now, they don't particularly give you a few days notice on a hurricane lately, but the thing about the earthquake is that you get no notice on this. So this is what I want to talk about today, and that is with our economy, you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared for anything that could possibly happen. Because since the health crisis started, I want you to think about this. We kept talking about, oh, wait till we get to June. June of last year, I'm talking about. Wait till we get to July. Wait till we get to August. This year, they're talking about normalcy coming back in the summer months. Normalcy coming back in August, September. You guys, we're pushing October. We're pushing the holidays right now. And are you prepared for this? Are you prepared and ready if this continues with, you know, with the problems that we've seen, with the supply problems, with the food problems, with the shortages that you're starting to see in these stores before the holidays? Are you prepared? And people need to be prepared, just like you need to be prepared for the earthquake. And again, you don't know if and when they're ever going to happen. You don't know how bad it's going to be. But again, last night was nothing. And again, I didn't feel it. So it was something that was not a huge earthquake, to say the least. But people need to prepare, and I just think that so many people are not. You need to have food, you need to have security, you need to have money in the house so that if you can't get to the ATMs, and you know, I get people that write me and say, oh, you're crazy, the ATMs could never get shut down for long periods of time. I've seen it, and I've seen businesses. And after I went to the Montage the other day and saw all those businesses, restaurants that have been open for 25 years in Laguna Beach that are finished now. And it was absolutely shocking because it's getting worse. And this was just from me driving down that street 3 weeks later. So you need to prepare, you need to be ready. And are you prepared? Are you ready for this? Because all signs point to things not going back to, quote, normal anytime soon. So again, be earthquake ready. You know, if you live in the hurricane area, you guys are ready for that. If you live in an area that has cold, you guys are ready for that. People have generators. I hear all these different stories of how people prepare for different disasters. Sometimes you get notified about the disasters, sometimes you don't. But what's going on right now is going to continue. And people need to be ready for that. So let's get into it and let's talk about some other stuff as well. This place is nice. It's got a nice pool. Got different restaurants. Just a beautiful day here. Guys, as I go up the stairs, you're gonna go to see the ocean behind it. Just a nice place to stay. It's beautiful. Now, the Federal Reserve is supposed to be there to protect us in a lot of different ways. But there's a little bit of a problem. The Federal Reserve, since the health crisis started, has been buying securities. They've been buying bonds and stocks and different T-bills over the last year and a half. And it has come to light that there are people that are Fed presidents and Fed employees that have purchased these stocks and these bonds. Now, insider trading is when you know information about a company that's not made to the public. How about the fact that the Fed is buying all these stocks and bonds of all these different blue chip companies, and they've gone up during this time. Apple, 3M, Adobe, Toyota, Volkswagen, all these different companies that they purchased these stocks on, and these Fed presidents have made millions of dollars doing this. This has been such a problem, and it came to light in the last week that Jerome Powell announced, and the rumor is that Jerome Powell made purchases too. So they've announced that they're going to be opening up an investigation, having an ethics hearing. Now, guys, what do you guys think of that? An ethics hearing with these people investigating themselves. Okay, you can't make this up, okay? So the Fed is buying whatever it wants, purchasing everything. By the way, look at how beautiful this is. It's just crazy that they're investigating themselves right now, guys. So share your thoughts on this. You know, I think it's utterly preposterous. I think that it's time for the Fed to stop buying everything. I think that the stock market needs to just collapse and be on its own and get real, because we need to raise interest rates. We need to get to a real economy where you hear about, you know, over 300,000 people filing for unemployment, and the stock market goes up that day like it's good news. Hey, you know, it was only 10,000 more than the week before. It's absolute lunacy. It's crazy that it is continuing at this pace. But Jerome Powell, just don't worry. Jerome Powell's on the case, and you won't have to worry about any problems with them, because they're going to investigate themselves. Okay? Sure, we found nothing wrong. Again, share your thoughts on this, because I think it's ridiculous. One thing we've talked a lot about is restaurants and the problem with restaurants that they're having through all of this right now, and it continues. There is a burrito chain out of Macon, Georgia, that all the employees left, quit, left a note in the door. We've been working 7 days a week for a month with no time off. We're done, we're tired, no appreciation from the owner, and they just left. And the next day, there's a sign in the door that the new hours are 11 to 3, so basically the lunch crowd, and that's it. But that's something that we're seeing here quite a bit. We're seeing restaurants that are only open short hours. A lot of places right now close at 8 o'clock at night. 8 o'clock at night, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm one of those guys that works in the evening, and at like 9 o'clock, hey, I'm gonna go get something to eat, and then you can't, because you've only got Denny's and different places that are open like that, In-N-Out Hamburger and stuff like that. But Are you guys seeing this in your areas? Because it's a real problem. Now, the other thing is the inflation problem that they're having. This place sits on a bluff. It's got this big grass area. They've got a wedding going on that they threw me out of, so I'm not invited to the wedding today, guys. I was gonna object. It's gonna be one of those guys. I don't think they should do it. Anyways, not going to the wedding. Restaurants are having a major problem with supply and with inflation. Supplies have gone up 50%. That's everything from to-go cups to different plates, things like that they're experiencing. Gloves, this shocked me. When you buy 1,000 gloves, it used to be that you could get 1,000 gloves for $19. These gloves, which you have to have, I mean, you want these workers not having exposed skin on your steak or your hamburger or whatever, your French fries, they've gone from $19 to $90. Where does that money get passed along to? You've got to pay more money for this. Restaurants have to raise prices right now. Maryland crab cakes. And again, Maryland is the main place for crab, lump crab. They're having such a problem with the prices where it went from $21 a pound to $56 a pound. $56 a pound. Well, guys, you can't go to a restaurant and have crab cakes. The crab cakes are $70 today. You can't, no one's gonna pay that. So there are Maryland crab restaurants that are not serving crab cakes right now because of how expensive crab is. Chicken wings went from $21 for a box of chicken wings to over 100, and they're seeing just more and more prices of everything skyrocket on a daily basis. And again, you know, my girlfriend and I went to a Chinese restaurant that we love. They have indoor dining again. They've got lunch specials. We were shocked when we went there yesterday when they didn't raise the prices. Things were still $8.95. I'm like, how do you do this? So lucky us, but you're gonna see that's going to be the impossible with the prices that these restaurants have to pay. Are you seeing that? Are you seeing the shorter hours? Are you seeing the problems that these restaurants are having right now? Because we are. Check this place out, guys. All these different picnic tables in the shade. They've got all these different barbecues out here that people can eat at. Just a really, really a nice spot. And again, it's really odd, you guys. This time of the year, you know, the weather's fantastic right now. It's really nice, a little breezy up here. I apologize if it's windy in the video, but you've got nobody out here. Now, you know, you've got weddings and you got stuff at the hotel and you got people staying at the hotel, but it is light, guys. I mean, the holiday traffic and the holiday crowds after Labor Day here in Southern California, this is when you want to come out here, guys, because there's nobody here. So share your thoughts on this, guys. Are you seeing the restaurant prices go up? Because I am. I'm seeing it go up everywhere, but we're also seeing that people cannot survive, and we're also seeing that workers are absolutely fed up, absolutely distraught, and can't take it anymore. So share your thoughts on this. You guys ever quit a job, just walked out? Okay, I have. God, it felt so good. I should tell you that story sometime. Now, Apple Computer is facing serious issues with its employees right now. First things first, Apple Computer has 160,000 employees. I didn't know that. That shocked me as I started to research this. But Tim Cook has been hearing all these different problems from employees that are saying that Apple Computers got this toxic work environment, and employees have been posting online different, you know, concerns on different anonymous chat places. But there's some validity to this because people that are posting things, it's just not kooky stuff. They're talking about managers yelling, you know, long hours, just all this different stuff. Pay equity with women that are getting paid less than men, all these different problems that they had. So Apple this week said, we're gonna have an all hands-on meeting. Now, two women that work at the company, Cher Scarlett and Janaki Parrish, spearheaded this, and they wanted to have, you know, their issues dealt with. But they had an all-hands-on meeting with Apple, and first time they've ever done this, and they only got 2 questions answered. First one was about pay equity. Oh, if we hear anything about it, we try to fix it and close the gap right away. And it got shut down after 2 questions. So, guys, Apple, you know, is like any other business where it's got problems. It's got, you know, people that are unhappy there. So it's not just the burrito location that's got these issues. It goes up to Apple. Now, this should have been a big week for Apple because they just announced all their new products. And the new iPhone watch is going to be able to tell you how fast you can hit a golf ball. Is that valuable to you guys? Does that mean anything to you? How fast your swing is when you hit a tennis racket? Use a tennis racket and hit a ball. I mean, come on. I don't get it. The EKG stuff is cool, but this other stuff doesn't make any sense to me. Why that's a big deal. Share your thoughts. Do you guys like Apple? Do you hate Apple? Now, one thing I always get hit up for is, Dan, all the news is negative and you're just telling us how bad things are. Well, here's a great story, okay, that is very topical right now, and that is about a woman who was a barista working for a coffee house, 28 years old, and she started a journal company called Never Stay Stagnant. And she did it during the beginning of the health crisis, and in January this year, she decided, as she started making $9,000 a month, that she was going to stop being a barista and dedicate full-time to her journal company. The journal company, Never Stay Stagnant, is basically a female product. It's got 90% women that buy the product. She sells it through Facebook ads and Instagram. She's done $500,000 in sales this year, and she anticipates in 2022 she's going to do $1 million selling this stuff. So again, guys, we've talked about this quite a bit. What do you know? What are you good at? What passion do you have outside of the job that you hate? Okay? People need to understand that you can sell something. And as the business world changes, as we don't go back to the office, as we don't work conventionally like we did in 2019, what can you sell that's different, like Taylor did? Now, this story in Business Insider, I'll include it below. It's great. But this woman, she, you know, took an idea and put it to work, and now she's going to make all this money doing it. And again, I've seen so many people do things like this. You know, you can sell things on Etsy. You can get electronic products and things that can be, you know, repeated and sold over and over again on sites like that, that you don't need to have inventory of anything. So, you know, does this interest you? What are you good at? What do you know? Are you a party planner? Do you know how to socialize? Do you know how to do social media? Okay, people pay for that all the time. What are you good at? Are you good at TikTok? Are you good at YouTube? People pay for this expertise, and Taylor's a perfect example of this, you know, this company that she started. So, you know, there's some great news. I think she's going to do $1 million next year in sales. I just love stories like this. So share your thoughts. And again, there's so many ways to make money right now. You just need to put your thinking cap on, and you can make some money like she did. One thing that fascinates me is there are 25 families that their net worth went up over the course of the last year by $312 billion. Stock prices, real estate prices going up. Guys, that's crazy, okay? These 25 families are worth $1.7 trillion, and they've just made more money than all of us will make ever in our lifetimes. Okay, 25 families. Now, I love the international news that people send me, and one thing out of the UK from the Independent is the Times, excuse me, in the UK, is that they're having a real problem with inflation in London, but they're seeing everything go up. And the ministers for their government are trying to figure out what they can do. But here's what they can do: nothing. Okay? All these people that talked about transitory inflation and how it's no big deal and how it's going to end soon, it's absolutely not going to end soon. This is the norm right now, and you're going to see people on fixed incomes that are going to be destroyed during this time because they cannot afford to pay for normal goods and services. But this is happening worldwide to so many people. And yes, the rich get richer. We've talked about this before, the extreme haves and the extreme have-nots. But whatever you can do right now to prepare, and if there is something that you can buy now cheaply and you can afford it, stock up on it right now, guys, because it may not be there in 60 days. This is a real issue internationally. It's not just here in the States, and it's not just in the UK. I get people that write me from South America, they write me from all over the place, and it's absolutely fascinating that they're having these troubles, but it just resonates the same thing. It's supply issues, it's prices going up on everything, and it's lack of product. So they're seeing that all over the place. We're seeing businesses go out of business like we've never seen before. But again, preparation. What can you do right now to prepare for that earthquake? Okay? Because the earthquake's coming. We don't know when, okay? And again, it's not naysayer, doomsayer, Dan's a nut. It is getting ready for this. Now, the advantage to this, if there's an earthquake, I could live in my house for a month or so without power, without water, with all that stuff, okay? If you live in hurricane areas, you should have the same thing. But with the instability of this economy, you should be ready just like that for everything, for anything that could happen, because I'm telling you guys, I don't see this ending anytime soon. All the news points to this thing being extended forever. So that's the bay down there that we've been to a few times, Dana Point Harbor. And again, the resort, as I walk back up here, is nice, okay? Something different. So share your thoughts on this, guys. You know, preparation. You know, what's the worst thing that happens? You have a few bucks in your house, you got some extra food and you got some extra water, and your family's gonna be safer. That's the worst thing that happens. And again, you know, all this talk about holiday shopping early, I think it's nuts, but you need to prepare for it. I'm going to end this video on this one, and that is the debt ceiling being raised. We talk about preparation. Our own government has not prepared for what could possibly happen. So they have these threats that there's going to be a government shutdown if we don't raise the debt ceiling or cancel it temporarily, and all these threats come out, and the first one is that they're not going to make Social Security payments. That's not going to happen, guys. They're going to make the Social Security payments, and what we're seeing is we're seeing real issues with, you know, the government shutdown. The last time this happened, it was kind of interesting because I had one of my medical conferences, and one of the people that works for the SBA, that is a friend that I know really well, who's been to, I think, all my events, he wasn't allowed to show up. In fact, he got a letter from management at the SBA saying that if they showed up or worked or did anything, it would be considered a criminal act to act as if they were representing the SBA. And I said, just show up as yourself. You don't have to represent them. You know the problems I have with them. Anyways, they couldn't do that. So that being said, they take this government shutdown thing fairly seriously, and they're going to fix it. But again, we talk about preparation. These guys have been on vacation, and they come back on September 20th, and now they're going to work on this. So bravo, they're going to start working on the government ceiling and the debt ceiling and raising that. Guys, it's going to get raised. It always does. These people want to pay themselves. They're not going to shut down paying T-bills and all this other different investment things. It's never going to happen that they're going to do that. So please don't forget to hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Guys, get ready, because this is the norm. The uncertainty, the instability, this is the norm. And if you're ready for it, you're ready for anything, okay? The barista that went out and started a business where she's making $9 grand a month, okay? You can be ready for anything, guys. Don't forget to join the email list. You can do that. If you want more access to me, there's a Patreon channel. If you want to sign up for Webull, they're going to end that deal fairly soon, but you can sign up for Webull. You can get a free share of stock for signing up. Kids are playing on the playground over there. That's what the noise is. So you can get a free share of stock. If you put money in, you get extra stock. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you very soon. Good luck to each and every one of you. Reach out. I try to answer everything I can. Good luck to you guys.